Whoops. Wrong thing there. There we go. Super Mario 64 warps. That's not even like haha funny, but that was just funny. So dumb that it loops back around to being funny. Okay, once again, I have zero damn clue who's going to be here tonight. I dread Dave and Will showing up after the last time they did. You know what that stare means. Let me. There we go. Okay. Looked a little blurry on my end. But anyway. Don't know if Spider's going to be here yet or not. I don't know. I kind of hope this is just a one-on-one. Or at the very least, a one-on-two. Bonesaw is ready. Yeah. And I hope Bonesaw is the only one here tonight. OSD is ready. No. If you remember how last night went, no. Lil Bill is ready. No. Can I have something to eat? No. Can I have something to eat? No. Can't you say anything else but no? Try asking again. Can I have something to eat? No. Remember what I said in our DMs? Yes, I do remember. I was just making a funny joke. Why else would I say the magic conch shell, quote, unironically? Plus, it's just my go. If worse comes to worse, yeah. Anyway, I don't know who's going to be here tonight, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this shit out of the damn way. Oh, speak of the devil, that shit just went up to 2. You have a secret? Yes. That just went up to 2, by the way. Poop, 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 your peanut. My ears were ringing. Damn. Okay, well, now we have 2 at least. Oh god, oh god, oh damn, oh fuck. Oh god, oh damn, oh fuck. Coincidentally, oh god, oh damn, oh fuck is my mental state at this point. Anyway, I'm not even going to bother with. Okay, this show is. Anyway, welcome to Wonder After Dark. Wonder After Dark? Welcome to Dark. Wonder Dark. Welcome to Wonder After Dark. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it, just so we're not wasting a whole ton of time. Oh yeah, I guess I should say, previously on Wonder After Dark, we looked at The Mandalorian. The Book of Boba Fett is an American space western television miniseries created by Jon Favreau for the streaming service Disney+. It is part of the Star Wars franchise. This is The Mandalorian Season 2.5. Happy Hogan, yep, pretty much. Pretty much to both. Anyway, it is part of the Star Wars franchise, but you already knew that. And a spin-off of The Mandalorian, although really it's more like Mandalorian 2.5. Anyway, taking place within the same time frame. I didn't know it was Star Wars. Whoops. Anyway, taking place at the same time frame as that series. It is interconnected, I cannot read. Anyway, taking place at the same time frame as that. Stay tuned for Bubba Hotel. Nope, I don't know what that is. I'm not doing it. No. Boba doesn't appear in one of the episodes. Whoops. Yeah, whoopsie daisy. Okay, anyway. Also, don't know what that is, but if it's porn, I'm not doing it. Plain and simple. You'll find out later. Anyway, taking place in the same time frame as that series and its interconnected spin-offs after the events of Return of the Jedi, the Book of Boba Fett... Hubba Bubba Gum Wowies out. Please don't instigate. No, I'm being serious. Please don't instigate. Anyway, the Book of Boba Fett follows the bounty hunter, Boba Fett, also Buble Wap, yep. Anyway, follows bounty hunter I was about to say Boba Fett from The Mandalorian and other Star Wars. Corn is not. Please stop. Just stop. Anyway, other Star. That was funny though. Granted, it was no applesauce. Twoo. Anyway, before I get interrupted another 46 times, because it's inevitable. The series follows bounty hunter Boba Fett from. I like corn, the vegetable, a lot. You're instigating by saying that. I hope you know that. Anyway, may not be on purpose, but you're still doing it. Anyway, follows Boba Fett from The Mandalorian and other Star Wars media as he establishes himself as the new crime lord of Jabba the Hutt's former territory. I didn't mean to, senpai. I did like that bubbly wap short in the short today made me smirk. Thank you. Anyway. Now, if you could just keep this demeanor tonight as opposed to any other type, that would be great. Anyway, the series Oh, your videos make me laugh, not gonna lie. Thank you. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep on stopping. Anyway, the showrunners. Oh yeah, tell the amazing news. Please wait. Let me get Boba Fett out of the way. Then I'll tell the news. Okay? I'm not trying to sound rude, by the way. Okay, anyway. Showrunners include Jon Favreau and Robert Rodriguez. I wish I was making that up. Did you say please be... God damn it! Wait, Robert made this. Well, he's one of the showrunners. The two showrunners are Jon Favreau and Robert Rodriguez. Those two. So it's John and Robert. This is not his best work. Agree. And the best part is that applies to both John and Robert. Anyway. The series stars... Damn it. I didn't ask for you, but mostly Robert, yes. Sorry, cool dad, yeah. Also, I didn't ask for you, Apple Text Assistant. Anyway. The series stars, I'm probably going to butcher this, Tamura Morrison, Ming-Na Wen, and Pedro Pascal. Apple Text, yep. Anyway. So far, the show has run for 1 season and 7 episodes. So, not even really a season. You actually said his name right, by the way. Woo. Oh, look, I didn't even try to say it right, but I managed to. Anyway. What I was saying. Episodes are between 39 and 59 minutes. Hang on. Okay. Episodes are between 39 and 59 minutes in length. Yes. 3-for-1 special. 3 cats and yet... Joe stuck his willy where he shouldn't, making him tonight's big loser. Hey, Spider, Book of Boba Fett. I promise I'm done with Star Wars for a while after this. Now, please don't instigate any further than that. Also, Impractical Jokers. Stay tuned. Anyway, the series is produced by Lucasfilm and Golem Creations. Golem, that reminds me of something. Stay tuned. The best part of the show is when why do I always do that? No, seriously. Every time I see Mando, I always read it as Mandu. But I'll get to that later, yes. But seriously, I always make that mistake. Every time I see Mando written out, I always read it as Mandu, and I have no idea why. Anyway, the series is produced by Lucasfilm and Golem Creations, and it premiered on Disney Plus on December 29th. Discord, okay. I found it while looking at SpongeBob memes the other day, and that's pure gold. Okay, what does it say? deep fake Luke looks better than he did last time, but when Ahsoka was next to him, he looked fake as fuck. Show it. Okay, I'm going to regret showing this on camera big time, but oh well. Content warning, booty. How deep can SpongeBob's pores go? Ah! That's enough of that. Anyway, anyway, this... I'm sorry, Spider asked me to. He's the only one that I'll give in to. I don't give in to any of you anymore. Anyway, the series premiered on Disney... Anyway, Lucasfilm, just hire Sebastian Thank you! But that's a story for another time. Backdoor poor, yes. Now let's not. Anyway. Okay, the series was produced... Okay. Funny how I went to speech therapy and I still can't talk. Anyway, the series premiered on Disney Plus on December 29th, 2021 and ran until February 9th, 2022. So it didn't really run very long. You went to speech therapy? When I was younger, yes. But that's a story for another time. Anyway. Tamura Morrison stars as the title character, with Ming-Na Wen and Pedro Pascal also starring. Just lore dump, yep. Although, I'm never going to lore dump again. As long as certain... Anyway. All of whom reprised their roles from The Mandalorian and other... Isn't that the girl who played Mulan? I actually don't know. Let me look. Yes, I know we're just going out in left field, but you asked, and that's... Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, that is the girl who played Mulan. Back to Star Wars, unfortunately. Though Mulan, stay tuned. Anyway, they all reprised their roles from The Mandalorian and other Star Wars media. A standalone Star Wars film centered on... Mulan 2... Anyway, a standalone film centered on Boba Fett was in early development at Lucasfilm before the company began prioritizing streaming series like The Mandalorian. A potential spin-off series was first reported in November 2020 and was officially announced in December of that year. Filming had begun by that point and lasted until June 2020. Is this a game or a TV show? TV show. There's that attention deficit disorder kicking in. But it's a TV show. Oh, The Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. Stay tuned. Acolyte's going to be tricky because that's not on Disney Plus anymore. Also, a pen and paper, yes. And so streaming killed everything, pretty much. Wait, it is not? Nope, they deleted it off of Disney Plus. They removed it, along with a bunch of other shows, including The World According to Jeff Goldblum, my beloved. Seriously, that was a great show, The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and you just had to remove it. Goddamn, really? Uh-oh, I played the wrong game. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Hey, listen! Hey, listen! It's still on Disney Plus here. Okay, well, now I know it's still on Disney Plus in Canada, but in the US, they removed it. Anyway, back to Boba Fett. But we can still talk about the controversy. Yes, now back to Boba Fett. Back to the boring one. Anyway. In addition to Favreau, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson returned from The Mandalorian as executive producers and were joined by Robert Rodriguez, which you'd think would spell greatness, but remember, Robert was just coming off of We Can Be Heroes at this time. Disney cares about Canadian. Do they, though? Anyway. Who directed 3 episodes? Anyway, Favreau and Rodriguez, however, served as showrunners. Anyway, the series premiered on February... No, I'm dyslexic. Oh, if they cared about Canadians, they wouldn't have any in Toy Story 4. You're correct. Anyway, The series premiered on December 29th, 2021, and ran for 7 episodes until February 9th, 2022. The final episode had the highest viewership for a Star Wars program on Disney Plus at that point. The series received mixed reviews from critics, however, who praised Morrison's performance but criticized some visual effects and storytelling decisions, including the choice to focus on Pascal's Mandalorian character for multiple episodes, which multiple for a 7-season show would basically be, or 7-episode season. I'm goddamn dyslexic. Let's start over. Several episodes for a 7-episode season would basically be half the show. Anyway, despite this, however, the series received several accolades, including a Primetime Creative Arts Emmy for its visual effects. Yippee! I haven't heard from Lil Bill today. Were there any natural bits? I hope... No. I just had to stop. Okay, anyway. Just scrolling down here. Okay. But what about that motherfucking reception? Well, Rotten Tomatoes reported an approval rating of 66% based on 200 reviews, with an average rating of 6.8 out of 10, 0 to 50 and 4. Oh, okay, let me add in, it really feels like Disney didn't feel like waiting for season 3 of Mando, because they were worried people wouldn't have any... Exactly, but back to the show. Anyway, Rotten Tomatoes, approval rating of 66% based on 200 reviews, with an average rating of 6.8 out of 10, 0 to 50 and 4. The consensus reads, The Book of Boba Fett, Mando Season 2, anyway. But please not for a while. I know it's been a while since the last Star Wars thing before this, but seriously. Anyway. The consensus reads, okay, fine. 66.6, yes, anyway. Fuck. The consensus reads, The Book of Boba Fett could never match the adventures that existed in fans' imaginations for decades, but it earns its commission with spectacular set pieces and Tamira Morrison's commanding presence. Well, I mean, not wrong there. Anyway, Metacritic gave the series a weighted average score. Oh, it feels wrong that Rotten Tomatoes rates TV shows. Honestly, I don't blame you. I kind of see it, but anyway. Metacritic, what I mean is I kind of see what you're saying, but anyway. Metacritic gave the series a weighted average score of 59 out of 100. Rusty Trombone. Rotten Tomatoes! God damn. Anyway. Metacritic gave the series a weighted average score of 59 out of 100 based on 19 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Go figure. Daniel De Adrio, I think that's how you say that, of Variety, praised the narrative, visuals, and performances. Polygon's David Grossman said that the first episode showed the desperate side of the Star Wars universe. 0 to 50 and 4. Yep, I already said that, though. You just probably wowie, yeah, that catchphrase. Anyway, Maggie Lovett at Collider expressed that the second episode delivered one of the best and most thematically rich episodes of Star Wars television to date. Hannah Flint of IGN stated that without Morrison portraying Boba Fett, I don't know why that just came out that way, but anyway, the show might have been a total failure. That episode was boring. What the fuck do they... Considering I don't remember anything about episode 2, I don't know what the fuck they meant. I don't know what the fuck any of you mean. But anyway. Okay. saying Morrison's plain-speaking, humane anti-hero keeps you endeared to Boba's story. Maybe I just don't know what storytelling is, or Disney paid them. Or both. Anyway, could possibly be both. Anyway, NME's Jesse Hassinger said that the show was really season 2.5 of The Mandalorian, and that it had a baffling structure and poorly integrated flashbacks that abruptly halted halfway through the season, and an equally sudden swerve away from Boba Fett himself shortly thereafter. Alright, what you saying? Yeah, who needs dumb old Texas? Say hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. I'm just going to say, or I'm just going to imagine you're saying Boba. I'm saying okay, first off, should I start running now? Okay, first off, I'm saying Boba Fett. Not Boba Tea. Anyway. But yeah, that's completely... Sorry, let me look again. Yeah, who needs dumb old Texas? Should I start running now? I got the joke now. I just missed it because I was so caught up with goddamn. Also, never forget the Alamo. I said, what did you say? Oh. What did you say? What did you say? Yeah, sorry, I'm stupid. Anyway. But I got the joke now. SpongeBob, Texas, funny. Anyway. Me missing a joke, episode 6000. Anyway. But yeah, that is pretty... God damn it, Discord. Hey, Patrick, what am I? Stupid? Okay. Yeah, who needs dumb... Okay, let me get through Boba Fett, please, and I'll watch that. Stupid. Yep. Hey, Patrick, what am I? Stupid? No, I'm Texas. What's the difference? Sandy's from Texas. Yeah, look, you got it. Hooray! What's the difference? I just spoke Lego Batman the video game language. Anyway, I thought Sandy was from California. No. See, this is the kind of chaos I miss. Where, like, it's stupid, but it's not... I'm being sarcastic. No, I believe you. Okay, I believe you. No, but this is the kind of chaos I prefer from Wonder After Dark, where, like, it's stupid, but it's the fun kind of stupid. Anyway, Nick Wanerski of the AV Club said that the show was very watchable, but that it ended the same way it started. A mess. Jesse as a poo. Thank you, come again. Anyway. Just a reminder, Lego made a Quickie Mart set, and I seriously never recall seeing it in stores, not even once. I knew they made the house. I knew they made the Quickie... Oh, F is for friends who do stuff together. Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett starts and ends the same way. Half the people in Texas are from Cali now. U is for ukulele, U is for you, and... I love... Okay. I'm overwhelmed. Anyway, but at least this is the funny kind of chaos. Can we keep this kind of funny and not... Anyway. The Ringer staff opinioned that excluding Fett from the series, U is for you... God damn it. Stop! Anyway. The Ringer staff opinioned that is only funny if we're talking about Monster House. Otherwise, get that shit out of here. I'm a be real, Euthra is an ugly word. Like I said, that joke would only be funny if we're talking about Monster House. If you've seen Monster House, you know why. Agreed, I hate hearing. That's nasty. Now please shut up. Shut the up. Anyway. The Ringer staff opinioned that excluding Fett from the series' penultimate 2 episodes, diarrhea is a similar one. Yeah, agree. Anyway, excluding Fett from the series' penultimate 2 episodes, negatively impacted the finale. With general praise for the tie-in to The Mandalorian, including Grogu's appearance, and Cad Bane's live-action debut, excluding his death, some opinioned that Fett is better in a supporting role. Excuse me. Alright. Wojnarowski also said that the train heist scene was rad. Cad Bane is dope. Agree. Now back to boring. While Rohan Nahar of the Indian Express... God, the jokes write themselves there. Anyway, criticized it. Flint stated that the decision to kill off the Tuskens was an obvious and lazy one. The Cyborg gang was negatively compared to the Power Rangers. Yeah, I get it. The digitally de-aged Luke was considered an improvement from his appearance in The Mandalorian, but some considered the special effect off-putting. Alright, what'd you say? Okay. Grogu's return to Mando, look, I read it correctly, was genuinely a cute moment. Agree. Also, the train heist scene was stupid. Agree. The Cyborg gang felt like from a completely different show. Yep, again, Power Rangers. Anyway. Power Rangers RPM. The best one. Stay tuned. RPM is peak. Anyway. Lex... Okay, let me go turn the AC back on. I've had to turn the air conditioning off and on repeatedly because the temperature in this fucking room keeps going from hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Sorry about that. Okay. Ooh, baby, a triple! Also, yeah, I mentioned that Luke looks bad when next to Ahsoka, considering she was actually real and he wasn't. Yep, pretty much. Anyway. Funny how Ahsoka... No. Funny you mentioned that. It's funny how Ahsoka, the character that you'd think would be CGI, was practical, but then Luke, who should be practical, was CGI. Or rather deepfake, but still. That is incredibly funny. Stupid as all get out, but funny. Okay, anyway. Lex Pryor, from The Ringer, considered the show failed to deliver its potential, and that the series will never actually have to focus on anything other than the lives of a select few characters and their closest relatives. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. Wowie zowie, yep. There's only so many times I can read that before my brain turns to mush. The Biker Gang Power Rangers, yep. Okay. You're probably expecting me to say, but what about home video? Well, this show has actually yet to be released on home video of any kind. In fact, all it says for release is what we already know. It premiered on Disney Plus on December 29th, 2021, consists of 7 episodes, and were released weekly until February 9th, 2022. Okay, what do you say? Soon it will be. Well, they have not announced a Blu-ray or 4K release as of yet, but considering Mandalorian now has its entire run out physically, and they've been putting out the sounds like they just wanted money. Are you going to say that about goddamn everything? I mean, in this case, it's completely appropriate, so I actually can't get mad at you for once. But it's starting to get incredibly repetitive, like we get it. There's pre-orders for it on Amazon. Okay, I guess it's time for me to check. I don't recall it being officially announced, but I'm not going to deny what you're saying. I'm just going to open Amazon right now. Again, I'm not doubting you at all. Okay, I do not see what... And it's on eBay. Okay, it's on eBay. Just clicked as to what you're saying. Yep. I believe what... Oh, I'm going to change Mandalorian to Delor... I don't know why you show up to these episodes when you're not interested. Because that right there just says, I'm not interested. They're steelbooks. Yes, I know the other releases are steelbooks, but I can't find... Okay, I cannot find the pre-orders on... Okay, hang on, let me do this. Let me go... Okay, because sometimes people will put this out on Twitter. So let me go to Twitter. It's a... I consider... Maybe I missed... Maybe you did. I don't know. Let me just... What the fuck? Okay. I do know bootleg copies exist, if that's what you're referring to. But I think they're already... I mean, if there are copies already out, then they're probably bootleg... Okay. Okay, well, here's a tweet saying that it will arrive this year, but there's no official source cited. Yeah, I can't find anything regarding... I'm not going to deny that you saw something. Whether it's official or not, don't know, but I'm not going to deny you. Not going to deny, not going to defend, not going to depose. H-O-T-T-O-G-O. Deny, defend, and depose. That would have been funny a couple months ago when the whole United Healthcare thing happened. Now back to the show. Okay, the Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to be real with you all. I do not remember if I watched it when it was airing. Oh, what does it say? I know a guy who sells DVDs on the block if you want me to app. I mean, good to know that you know a guy, but... Anyway. Okay, but... Anyway, but... I'm going to be real with you all. I don't recall if I watched the Book of Boba Fett when it was airing at all. Not because it's already been a couple of years, but I just agreed to address... Yep, you sure did. Anyway, I don't recall if I watched the Book of Boba Fett when it was airing or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I have seriously no recollection of if I watched the show when it was brand new on Disney+. Zero... Oh. I watched half of it when Alan was mad with me. And I bet it probably just made you more mad. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Just international brug deal. Yeah. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Yeah, it did. Okay, so actually, that sounded insensitive in my head, but actually, no, it isn't. You picked a bad show to watch. No, I'm serious. Now that I know that, you picked a bad show. God. Any number of shows, and you picked that one. And I watched the other half 2 years later, and I was like, okay, this is fun. Why would Alan be mad at you? But, oh, thank you for asking a legit question. Thank you. Anyway, you want a lore dump onto the not trustworthy person? Because I was a piece of crap back then. Yep. And that's all you need to know. Wii, that's a successful Nintendo console. That's all I'm going to say. And that's all you should say. Okay, but anyway. But, yeah, back to my POV. I suck. We all suck! Okay, anyway. What else? Yes. I suck, you suck, we all suck. At being sad. Damn. Untrustworthy. I was joking. Sometimes. Legitimately, the first half of Book of Boba Fett is boring. Yep. To you, Dave, untrustworthy was a joke. J-O-K-E, joke. J-O-K-E, joke. Did you tell Mom and Dad about the D-O-R-E? Anyway. The second half is okay, but only when it focuses on Mando. Yep. But at that point, why not just watch The Mandalorian? Back to... Where's Will? No! Bad boy. No. No. Anyway. Back to shit. Okay, but Stop. Just stop. Anyway, but the Book of Boba Fett, I don't recall watching it when it premiered. Sorry, it's hard to read people. That's okay. Anyway, what I was saying, but Book of Boba Fett. I don't recall what. It's a 5 out of 10. Yep, back to my side. Because I did get interrupted a lot. And I'm just scatterbrained. Alright. Now, I don't recall watching the show when it was new. If I did, I probably dropped it real fast because of that first half. But otherwise, I miss Lil Bill. I'm 50-50. Anyway, that's not me trying to sound insensitive. I'm just 50-50. Anyway, but I probably dropped it real fast because of that first half. But I did decide to rewatch it today in preparation for this episode. I only watched the first episode because I feel like that's all I really need. And God, that was boring. Is that a short haha funny? No, but it was fucking boring. I mean, like, okay. Not only was it boring, that first episode, but I don't have anything to say about it. Like, on it. If so, it was pretty good. I don't know, honestly. I don't try to be funny. Anyway, what I was saying. But I don't have anything to say about it. Like, oh, Tusken Raiders shouldn't really be shown like that. They shouldn't. But anyway. But it was just like, maybe it's okay. I'm trying to. They're supposed to be xenophobic assholes. Yep, that is true. Anyway, what I was saying. Maybe it's because. Excuse me. Maybe it's because, you know, I've just reviewed so much Star Wars media, especially back to back, that I'm just kind of numb. Maybe it's because of the fandom, because the fandom is a mess. You love Star Wars. Oh, yeah, totally. No, but for real. Maybe it's because that fuck. That FNAF 2 teaser was dope as fuck. I haven't watched it, admittedly. The fandom sucked. Agree. Back to Star. But what I was trying to say. Maybe it's because I've just reviewed so much Star Wars media, especially back to back, because there was a period where I reviewed a bunch of it back to back per your request, and I had to give in. Maybe it's just because the fandom is just shit. I don't know what it is, but... Or maybe it's just because every Star Wars thing post Last Jedi feels the same. I'm sorry for making you review 5 movies in a row. I accept that apology. Now I just need an apology. Stay tuned for Mad Max 2. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying. But either way, whatever factor... Now, if only certain other people would apologize to me. An apology for what? Nothing in particular. Just different people for different reasons. No people in particular. Do not assume. Just different people in general for different reasons. Just speaking broadly. And non-descriptively. I'm sorry. Okay. Don't know what you're saying sorry for, but Gardner, I'm sorry. Well, there's one of them. Now, if only it would come out of his mouth. I apologize. Again, I don't know what you're saying sorry for, but I accept it. Now, back to the show, but... Discord, okay. Him too. I'm not the guard. I didn't say you were. I'm saying that to you, Dave. I didn't say you were. Damn it. I didn't... Fuck. I didn't... Okay, Mangle, my beloved. Yep, that is Mangle. That is Mangle. They're sorry too, yeah. But if only it would come out of their mouths. Now back to the Sour Patch Kid. Anyway, what I was trying to say. But The Mandalorian. Or the... Well, I mean, that's basically... Well, just imagine the FBI. That would be both That would be both funny and terrifying. Okay, but back to what I was saying. Please and thank you. Back to what I was saying. But... Anyway, either way, whatever it is, I just have nothing to say about this show. Like, I guess what I can say is, like, well, first, it's boring, but like the other like the other Disney Plus Star Wars shows, it is visually impressive, I will admit. That's something all the Disney Plus Star Wars shows have in common. Even if the writing is kind of doo-doo, they at least look really nice. Except for whenever they try to resurrect the dead. But still, they look nice, I will say. They're pretty much movie quality. Also, we need to talk about a small controversy for this show. Go ahead. If Foxy isn't in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which it seems like they set up the film in a way where the OG crew comes back and he doesn't meet Mangle, I'm going to rip all of y'all apart. Oh my god. Hey, Jason Blum, if you heard everything this boy just said, or this man, or this woman, or... Yes, sir, I mean, ma'am, I mean, Poobah, go! Anyway. Dear God, that was just Squidward in his higher octave. So Boba Fett's ship, the Slave One, had to get renamed to Fire Spray for... Okay, and it's only now that... Okay, yeah, I actually do remember... You just refreshed my memory. I do remember that. You just refreshed my memory. I do remember that controversy. Listen, Fire Spray is a cool name, but not at the expense of the Slave One. But to be fair, this is modern day society, and I get referring to anything as a slave might not be socially acceptable. So while I'm not necessarily okay with the change, slave for the win. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yep, and that's Jimmy Fallon. Fimmy Jallon. Whoops, I almost just tripped. Okay, but yeah. But yeah, I do remember that. It might not be socially acceptable unless in private. Okay, no. And live on Nick. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I do remember that, though. But back to yeah. But that's something all of the Disney Plus shows have in common. It's like, even if the writing is bad, they do look really impressive for slaves remind me of Africa. I mean, not wrong. Slaves are typically associated with countries like that. I'm not offended based on my tone. My tone is not offended. I'm just saying, like, out of pocket, yes, but also not wrong. That's really not much of a racist joke as much as it is just historical fact. Thing is, it's been called Slave One for like 40... Yeah, exactly. I could list any number of similar and equally as stupid name changes, but seriously, that could be a Wonder After Dark all on it. Apu. Yep, there's one of them. I mean, to be fair, Apu was like... Yeah, straight... In fact, not only was Apu deleted from The Simpsons, but so was the Quickie Mart. Like, the whole Quickie Mart. I can't name a single time in the last decade that the Quickie Mart has appeared at all. Not even mentioned. Again, not even mentioned by name, not even in the background. It's just gone. It's just gone. Yeah. Anyway, do we have anything else to say? Oh, I'm pretty sure the Indian market loved to poop. Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure they did. In fact, I don't recall any Indian people being offended by the character at all. This is, okay, Chad Tronick. No, I'm not changing the subject. I have a good example. Chad Tronick did a video a while back covering various instances of school districts and towns canceling Halloween for a variety of stupid reasons. One of them was a neighborhood being offended by some decorations. And he shows the decorations and he says, are these scary? Yes. Offensive? No. Or something along those lines. But there you go. That fits perfectly. Granted, it's about Halloween decorations and not race, but still. That fits perfectly. Like, is Apu kind of stereotypical? I mean, yeah, but he's not offensive at all. Oh, next October on... Oh, Jesus hates when we have fun. Okay, hang on. Damn it. Next October on Wonder After Dark in 2026, in 2026, we talk about the 10-year anniversary of the clown site. Yep, I remember those. 2016 was the first crazy year, I would say. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Anyway. Anyway, what do you rate it? No, okay, I'll rate the show first. Okay. Honestly, probably the same as you. I'm gonna give Book of Boba Fett. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 overall. It's just mid. Although, I'll give it a 5.5 for Grogu and Mando reuniting. That gives it some points. Because that is a cute moment. Genuine. It's just too bad. Yeah, 5.5 for that. Although too bad that moment had to be wasted on this show. But the first half is actually bad. Yeah, agree. Are we gonna have a problem here? Wii U. Also, be right back. Yeah, okay. Godspeed, yes, yeah. Alright, I guess it's time for the intermission until the next segment. Now let's wait. Say, what did you eat for dinner, buddy? Pizza. Just pizza. Oh, God. Never fear, Lil Bill is here. Yep. Oh, no. Hey, Bill. I was reviewing the Book of Boba Fett, which I had to clarify like 47 times. You just missed the entire review. And no, I am not repeating myself. Lil Bill. No. Alright. I watched it. Oh, thank you. Thank Christ. Thank Christ. Thank fucking Christ. Have to be honest, I was a bit disappointed. Yep. Jesus Christ. I love how I have the air conditioning and the fan on. Lil Bill from the hit show. Oh, Jesus. Okay, anyway, what I was saying. Okay, on a side note, I have commented on your videos. I was wondering what you thought about them. Hang on. I mean, you did kind of join during the intermission segment of this. My head hurts. You did kind of join during the intermission segment anyway, so... Damn it. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay. Please, heart all. Slow down. Nope, I am not a young dude. Slow down. Jesus. Okay, I saw that come. Are they really all... Okay. Okay, anyway, but yeah, I see your comments. I see your comments. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, oh, please. Okay! I will. Jesus. Please. I'm doing it! Jesse, you have something to say? Give me a minute to get... Damn it, I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. Jesus Christ. Okay, hang on. And maybe read it. Jesus Christ, you already told me to... You already... Okay. Okay, I fucking spilled milk everywhere. Damn. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. The milk spill. I getting mass... Yeah, okay, back... Okay. Alright. Let me... Okay. It feels like you're trolling. Anyway. Okay. I do have something I would like to say, but I need a minute to... like, get my thoughts together. Oh. Did you read any of them, or just heart? I didn't read any of them out loud, but I did read. In fact, I saw 2 of them earlier today. Yeah, what he said. Anyway. Now, what I was trying to say, please. I do have some... Anyway, not you, Jess. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Anyway. I do have something I would like to say, but I need a minute to, get my thoughts together. Because, believe it or not, I'm not always on go mode. I know it seems like I am sometimes, despite how slow I can be on this show, but sometimes I do need a minute to get my shit together. I guess while me either just a little bit... Oh, yeah, I can tell. Anyway, I guess I will say, while I get my thoughts together, while I think, Nice, I guess I'll throw you all the hot question. Nice day for it, isn't it? YouTube, well, I mean, yeah. Nice day for it, isn't it? Nice day for it, isn't it? Sorry, just working on something down here. So mad. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just working on something else totally unrelated down here. Oh, I think Dave would really appreciate. Oh my God. I will. He asked me to say it slower. Oh my God. You did. I'm going to repeat what I said a minute ago. I did not read the comments out loud, but I did read, like, to myself. Be right back. Okay. Again, this is kind of the intermission segment until the next segment, so. Plus, again, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate what I want to say. Be nice, though. Since I am a fan. I mean, I'm going to be polite. I'll provide some constructive criticism, but I will be polite. If I do get a little snappy, I do apologize. It's just who I am. We are here for... Okay. Just giving y'all the heads up. Constructive criticism, but I'm going to try and be polite. Wait for... Again, I'm waiting for We got 4 people right now. I'm waiting for 2 out of 4. All right. Give Gas a minute. Okay. I'm giving him a minute. I'm giving him a minute. And thanks for waiting. Yeah, that too. I thought you might have been, yeah. Well, I mean, again, you came in right after I finished the review, so. Just waiting. I'm so mad. Damn. Something happened, or something come up, or I mean, I probably shouldn't be asking, but just read above and you'll find out. LOL. Never mind. Please forgive us, Gas. Okay. Anyway. I guess that was for the best. On that note, before I begin, oh, I wanted a divorce. Sorry, I misread what you said. By the way, it's time for the funny image, Flint and Steel. Tomorrow, stay tuned. Anyway, spilled milk. Yes. Anyway, Flint and Steel. Okay. Now, my apologies. Okay. Show the funny video I sent today. Okay. I'll do that, then I'll get to what I want to say. I promise. Okay. I'll show this, then I promise I'll say what I want to say. Okay, there it is. I didn't know you reviewed bands too. I'm not reviewing Tenacious D, if that's what you're thinking. I'm reviewing something Jack Black did, but it's not Tenacious D. Okay, anyway.
It's Jesus. Say hello, Jesus.
Can you review Wild Man Chris's music? I don't know who that is. Why are they peanut? I wish I knew. Also, ear rape is funny. Baby punch my face. Okay, anyway. What I was going to say. Now it's time for a new segment that I like. Oh, I'm not mad because I'm mad because I spilled milk everywhere. Bare naked ladies, yep. He is big in the punk music. Okay. Okay, I believe you. Alright, now it's time for a new segment I like to call A Serious Moment. 1 second. Alright, new segment that I like to call... Oh, if I had $1 million. Seth Rollins, I'm coming for you, boy. Alright, drop the jokes for a minute, please. Alright, now it's time... Sting, always come... Well, those videos are always funny, but drop the jokes for a minute. Alright, now it's time for a new segment I like to call A Serious Moment. Let's bring out the chair for this, because we're going to be deep in thought. $1 million is based on... I've never heard it personally, but anyway. Now let's bring out the chair. I wouldn't have to eat crap. Okay. Let's bring out the chair, because we're going to be deep into thought. Alright. This is a new segment on the show, but of course, I'd just eat. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask that you all listen and pay attention. Okay? It's time for the new segment called A Serious Moment. Okay? Busting out the chair, because it's going to be deep in thought tonight. So, I'm directing this to all of you. Okay? Oh. Yeah, can you please... Will you elaborate? I'm trying to... Oh my god. Okay. So, what is this serious moment about? Well, you may have noted, and I'm directing this to all of you, okay? Everyone in the audience tonight. All 4 of you. Assuming 1 of you is still listening, but anyway. Assuming 3 of you even are, but anyway. So, I forgot when you said... Anyway, I'm listening. Okay, good. I never did... I mean, I think I said yes to karaoke, or maybe I implied it. I don't know. I never said when it definitively was. Granted, I don't know what the hell karaoke you think we can do, because copyright, YouTube, but back to what I was trying to say, please. Okay. If it's really, really serious, please post it in the community notes. Okay, now please let me finish. God fucking damn it. Anyway. Yeah, please let me talk. Anyway. Alright. Now I'm directing this to everybody in our audience tonight. And anybody who might be seeing this in the future. Because there's always the chance that new people could discover the show. Now, here's what I'd like to say. Well, I mean, yeah, everyone except you. Now, anyway. Wonder After Dark. I'm all ears, bud. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anyway. Now, Wonder After Dark is a comedy show. Albeit a really fucked up comedy show with a lot of mental health problems, but still a comedy show, first and foremost. Although I also consider it a variety show. But we're not here to talk about the genre. We're not here to talk, how funny is this show really? We're not here to talk like, what's a variety. No. Here's what I want to bring attention to. Alright? I want to bring attention to cancellation. No. Funny joke, but no. Dark, edgy comedy is the best comedy. Yes, but there's more to it than... There's more to it than... I'm saying this to, okay, I'm saying this to you, Will. There's more to it than that, but anyway, what I was trying to say. But I do agree. You know, dark, edgy comedy is really funny. But okay, jokes aside, it is not over. I'm not about to pull the plug. Now, not for a while, but what I was saying. Now, but Wonder After Dark is a comedy show. Okay, hang on. I'm going to read, then I'm going to finish, okay? Okay, hang on. Okay, cancellation announcement. Dark, edgy comedy is the best time. It's over! Yes, I agreed. It's all ogre now. Rip. What is over party? Read. Fun whilst it lasted. Please don't delete the channel because I'm not. I know it kind of sounds like that's what I'm setting up, but I'm not. Now let me finish. Anyway. Yeah, you know. Okay. Anyway, what I was trying to say. But this is a comedy show at the end of the day. Albeit an educational, informative, review retrospective comedy variety show with a bit of drama and kind of some psychological horror if you stop and think about it. But still a comedy show. But deep down, and this means no, yeah. That's what I was about to mention. Okay. There's a few factors, please don't, but I'm not. Anyway, there's a few factors I want to bring attention to. Alright? First factor. Now, I consider Wonder After Dark, let's say if this were a TV show. It's not, but don't K Martin. Okay, that's funny. I'll let that slide, but no more for the rest of this tangent. Anyway, now, I consider Wonder After Dark, if it were a TV show, to be an unrated show. Because of the unpredictable nature of doing it live. It can either be the Stop. It can either be the most squeaky clean, family-friendly show with some mild language throughout, or it can be the most batshit mental show. So if it were a TV show, NC-17. Okay, yeah, that fits. Do what he says. Shush. Anyway. But NC-17, I guess you could say that. Now, anyway, please. Now, yeah, I consider it to be unrated in the sense that it's unpredictable. It's not PG, it's not PG-13. It's rated R for retarded, yeah. But anyway. But either way. Now, you had me at batshit. Now, you have me at shut up and let me finish. Anyway. Now, the reason I bring this up is because while yes, we have talked about a lot of different subjects and a lot of different topics on the show, spanning so many different age groups and demographics and genres, I want you all to understand there are some things that either I don't want to cover, or my audience doesn't want me to cover, or that some people just might not be okay with. Let me provide two examples that were... But yeah, that was funny. R for retarded. Anyway, let me provide two examples that were provided by you the other night, Will. You suggested that I eventually review two... This feels... Don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. You can't just say that and expect me to know who you're talking about. You can't. Now, anyway, what I was saying. Two examples that were suggested to me the other night were Two Girls, One Cup and The Human Centipede. Now, I have not reviewed those movies. Wonder After Dark, remind me before you end the cast. Okay, anyway. What I was trying to say, please. Yeah, that'll never... Yeah, but anyway, what I was trying to say. But I'm never reviewing both classes. The two... Yeah, I'm never reviewing those. Do not beg for me. I'm never going to review them. If you know... Now, I'm not going to describe what happens in both movies for pretty obvious reasons. And I'm definitely not going to describe in excruciating detail. But I will say, have you ever seen... Also, technically, Two Girls is a show. Yeah, you should never say... Oh, but I will in this case. Now, let me finish, please, before you get mad. Now, and yeah, what you said, Sil. Technically, Two Girls is a short, not a full-length film. But anyway, what I was trying to say. I want you guys to please, please, please understand. If you're into those kinds of films, you know what? I'm not going to get mad. Can you imagine stretching it out to... Please don't instigate. Now, anyway. But what I was trying to say. If you're a fan of either of those, of Two Girls... Anytime anybody says Two Cups, I figured. But anyway, if you're a fan of either of those films, I'm not going to get mad. Like, you can like what you like. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like those two films, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Cups from Pitch Perfect. There's something... Yeah, I haven't seen Pitch Perfect, but that is wholesome. Now, anyway. But you have to understand, okay? That 1.5 hour review of 45-second clip. Anyway. When I'm gone, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. Yeah, anyway. But, I want you guys to please, please, please... I like One Night in China? China. Anyway, but I want you guys to please, please understand, okay? That's a real movie, but... Okay, I'm trying... China the Wrestler. Okay, now please let... Or Chia... Or no, China. Okay, I was reading that correctly. And it's a... Of course. Now, please let me finish, okay? Anyway. But I want you guys to please, please, please understand, okay? I'm interested. Okay. Anyway, I want you guys to please understand. I'm not going to repeat myself again. Understand. I love wrestling. You just opened the floodgates, you dumbass. Because you know his definition of wrestling is going to be the other kind. Okay, but anyway. What I was going to... I was close, but anyway. But I want you all to understand, okay? There are many different things that I will review on this show. But I will not, and I repeat, will not review those two for a multitude of different reasons, okay? First off, again, you can like what you like. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to be reviewing that. Referring to both, okay? Granted, I think Human Centipede might be a little bit more bearable, but Lil Bill is a wrestler. Okay, I knew that. That was mentioned before. Now let me finish, please. I'm talking to all of you. Please listen, all four of you. Anyway. But I do not want to find myself in the position of reviewing those, okay? And the other reason. Now this time I'm directing it to you, Sil, so pay attention, okay? You know what Two Girls is, okay? You know what the Human Centipede is, correct? If you know the premise of those two. But yeah, what Jessie said, she's more likely to review Hello Kitty. Yeah, or Human Centipede. Yeah, and it basically comes down to the like, I've reviewed some pretty out there stuff on this show before, but never that. Lil Bill's announcement overshadowed. Go fuck yourself! Anyway. The next factor I want to bring attention to, which is tangentially... I trained a former WW... Okay, that's cool. I keep saying review pizza... Yeah. That's cool, though. I will say. Will, that's cool. back to my tangent, though. Okay? And I hope to God you are all listening. Okay? I hope to God. Anyway. Santino. Okay. The Cobra! Dude, you're amazing. Okay. Anyway. The next factor that I want to bring attention to. Okay? It's tangentially related. But yeah. I'm never reviewing those. Do not ask. Oh, he has a wrestling academy here in Canada called Battle. Okay, that's cool. Anyway. But I am not reviewing those, no matter how much you ask. Any request, and this includes similar requests, any requests for those, or any similar films, will be shot down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? Next factor I want to bring attention to. Or that too, that fan fiction. Even though my reaction to it was funny, I'm still not doing that one. Okay. Next factor I want to bring attention to. And this, it's tangentially related, okay? It's only a pick, but don't blame me. Alright, next factor that I want to bring attention to, okay? Now, again, we do make a lot of messed up, fucked up jokes on this show. Basically, anything says goes. Is that you're banned? No, I'm not banning you. Please pay it. I'm not banning you, okay? Just stay to the end. Okay, yeah, that's what I did say. Now back to what I was saying. Good. Alright. The next factor I do want to bring attention to, and honestly, it's even more important, I would say. Now, we make a lot of fucked up, messed up jokes on this show. Basically, anything says goes. And especially because we're not monetized. So we don't have to worry about YouTube taking away ad revenue or anything like that. You know, we're not working for YouTube. Is your pronoun she? Correct. I did say that. I know I don't look the part, fully at least, but although I've had people say that I have, that was reverse psychology. Go fuck yourself. I may have called you he. No worries. Honest mistake. I mean, it's technically not wrong if you look at me, but honest mistake. Now anyway, what I was trying to say. But we make a lot of fucked up jokes on it. I don't believe I heard you say that till now. I did mention it before. Just in case you forgot, I have said it before. But anyway, also Bizarro Penguin Z0, correct. Now anyway, we make a lot of fucked up jokes on this show. Basically anything says goes. And it works because we're not under a company, we're not monetized, so we don't have to worry about any contracts getting ripped up or ad revenue taken away, etc. Anyway, but even still, even without, monetization and such, we still know our limits. There are things that we are very careful not to say on this show. Because although this is, the fucked up comedy variety show, woo, yeah, baby, that's what throws me off. Okay, anyway, what I was trying to say. But even still, we know our limits. There are many things that we do not say, either because we don't want to get into any trouble, or because we know that it's wrong. Granted, some stuff has slipped through the cracks on a few different occasions, but for the most part, all is fair in comedy. I mean, comedy is subjective. But anyway, where I'm going with this, okay? You never asked my I assume he, come to. Now, please listen, all of you, anyway. Now, what I was trying... Racist jokes about... Yeah. Racist jokes funny. Now, anyway. What I was trying... My or he, she, them. I had two. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Okay. But we make a lot of Yep, I should have known that was coming. Anyway, but we make a lot of fucked up. Race is okay, but not No. I never said sexual humor, like, broadly, but let me finish. There's a certain type that I want to bring attention to, okay? Now, we still know our limits, okay? Most of the jokes made on this show, that. Not what I was going to say, but that. What I was going to say, though. There's a fine line in comedy. I do believe that a lot of things can be funny, but I do think there is a fine line that goes too far. And while I don't think it was said intentionally, it gave me very uncomfortable vibes. Would you consider... Anyway. But while I don't think... I hope... In Minecraft, yes. While I don't think, and I hope, that what you said was not on Okay. While I don't think this fine line was crossed... I like being gender fluid. Yeah, anyway. While I don't think this fine line was crossed on purpose, and I don't think... And I hope it wasn't. I hope it was not implied, like I think it is. There's a fine line between being funny and being really fucking creepy. Okay? I'm sure nothing was on purpose. I mean, guys, don't knock it. Shut up, okay? Shut up. Anyway, this is a confusing I've been saying it. This is a confusing talk. I've been saying it crystal clear. Anyway, are you coming out of the closet again? No. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, okay? Now that was... Okay. What I was trying to say, okay? On the If I remember correctly, it was the previous episode, okay? This I'm directing to... Oh, today she's... Okay, now shut up with the jokes, okay? This I'm directing to 3 of you. Sylv, Dave, Will. In that order. I'm directing this to Dave, Sylv, Will. In that order, okay? The other night, when you said the following, what did I do? Well, you didn't do anything, but you were a witness, okay? You were a witness, but you didn't do anything. I'm just grouping you in as a witness, okay? When Will said the following, first off, I'm naked right now. Then, can I be your creepy uncle, or no, it was dirty uncle, and then asked if I had a sister. Connect the dots, please. I'm naked right now. Can I be your dirty uncle, and do you have it? Do you not see anything wrong here? Yeah, that's, yeah. I'm sure it wasn't on purpose, because it was 3 different sentences, but that's perhaps a little, yeah, you're going to hell. There's no explaining your way out of that one. You are... I also asked to see your laugh out... No, that's not laugh... Dave, that's not laugh out loud. That's just creepy. Out of No, not even out of context. That's not funny. It's not. That's just Yeah, thank you, Sil. That's not funny. That's just creepy. For a multitude of reasons. Again, I'm sure... I mean, granted, I don't know what your life is like. I don't know, but... Why was my name at the top of the... Because you were a witness. You were there, and then you just now said it was... You just said laugh out loud. You are defending... Do you really not see what is wrong with that? Like, really? Do you not? Like, are alarm bells not going off in your head? Like, ding, ding, ding. Like, listen, I find some fucked up shit funny, but there's a difference between funny and creepy, and that's just creepy. There's nothing to laugh at. Laughing at you calling Lil Bill a sicko. Okay, what's it say? Oh, God. For the naked comment, it was directed at Dave because he asked if when I got home if I undressed and had a puff. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, okay? I replied to him, I'm already named. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. But now I need to say, okay, there are some things that, you know, you can say on the internet, and there are some things that you probably should leave private, okay? If you're gonna come on a show like this and say something like that, then there's something seriously wrong with you, because nobody needed to know that. I didn't need to know that. Sylv here didn't need to know that. Black Spider didn't need to know that. Nobody needed to know that. Nobody needed to know that you were naked at that moment. That's too much information, and that should have been left to your direct messages. Alright, now you say, Sylv, a friend of mine always says, if I can take a dick, I can take a joke, but there are exceptions. Correct. There are definitely exceptions. I'm one of those people. If you can take, while yeah, there are some jokes I do get kind of testy about, I can take a joke pretty well, but there are times where I have to put my foot down and say, enough is enough. First off, again, thank you for clarifying that, but still, we didn't need to know that. You did not need to come on here and tell everyone you're naked. And plus, you didn't help. Dave, you're not helping. You're not helping. In fact, you're just making it worse. Now, anyway, can we stop? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. In fact, the last factor I wanted to bring up was actually the least bad. Anyway, it's whatever that means. Now, anyway. Okay, but still, we didn't need to know that. Plain and simple. No, you cannot come on here and say, can I be your dirty uncle? You're making yourself look really pervy, and I don't know why you want to see my family, but I'm going to have to say no. Okay? I'm going to have to say no. Can I be your uncle? I'm not even going to address that right now. I'm not in the mood. Okay? I know you probably just tuned out everything I just said. Everything. You both are probably tuning me out. It's from Caddy. I know. I know it is, but I'm not in the mood. But I know you're tuning out everything I just said. But it needs to be stated. Okay? You cannot be saying shit like that. You're just making yourself look really creepy, and it's not going to end well. You posted the... Oh, God. Anyway. You, Dave, you're not wrong, but if you think I'm doxing myself, I'm not going to, so shut up, I'm not gonna. Also, I think anything I have said has been mild next to all the dick talk in here, but I don't get upset. Fair's... Okay, you do raise a... Yeah, what Sylv said. You do have a valid point. As much as I am admittedly kind of shitting on you, and I am right about what I've said, you're right too. Most of what you've said has been mild, but some of it I do think goes a little too far. You know, you can't deny that. And some of it really doesn't belong here. I know this show sounds like a porno, especially with After Dark in the title, but there's a time and a place. Sometimes it's not the time, and sometimes it's not the place. That's all I want you to... I can be a really crazy yeah, and that's also a fair point. So, and sometimes I do get a little mad at Sylph here. And you know what? Sometimes I regret it, but sometimes he can go a little far, and he can get on my nerves. But all is good in the end. Anyway, okay, I promise... You said we were... Okay, I did forget about that until now, but I was joking. Okay, now what are you saying? And even after all that, I like you guys, girls, enough to keep coming back. It showed. Okay, well, yeah, fair point again. There is loyalty, and I do respect that. Even if you do kind of make us a little uncomfortable sometimes, it's the loyalty that counts. As long as you're not up to anything nefarious. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, Tyler. Tyler's kind of sketch, but even he's loyal. But still. Alright. I'm going to say this last factor, and then we're done with this little talk. Okay? I promise. The last thing I would like to say, and it actually has nothing to do with, you know, well, there are two factors in one. I'm grouping them together. Oh. Jesse is probably shit taking a poor nice step. Yeah, I know. I kind of feel bad, but, you know, kind of, if you're 38 hitting on a 19-year-old, yeah. But anyway, but loyal, I've seen him, okay. I think you should apologize for, yeah, I probably should, honestly. I probably should, now that you say it. But anyway, but I don't know when he'll show up. But what I was trying to say. Okay, the last factor, which is 2 in 1, 2 for 1 special. Okay, I'm directing this to Dave and Will. I'm directing this to you two. Please pay attention. This is serious. Now, I do try to acknowledge everybody in stream chat to the best of my abilities. Most of the time I'm pretty good at it. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes I do slip and I miss a few messages in chat, so I do have to go back, but all is good. Okay, there we go. But I have been getting overwhelmed lately because, you know, I'll have Sylv saying something, and then he tells me to read that, and then I'll have Spider send me something on Discord, and he wants me to watch that, and then I'll have you two basically telling me to talk about anything else, or, okay, listen, I know this is going to be a complete nitpick, but something that has been getting on my nerves, and I know you can't help it, that's perfectly fine, slow mode in, okay, and I know you can't help it, perfectly fine, but it's been kind of getting on my nerves, too late. The whole, is any of this even real? When you say, is any of this even real? I know it's very minor, but when I'm showing, like, physical evidence of what I'm talking about, and I'm reading a Wikipedia page that shows you what I'm talking about is real, then that's kind of a dumb question, not gonna lie. Okay, maybe that's a little rude. I guess more politely would be, that's a duh-head question. That's one of my lines, we could be a... But still, it's kind of a duh-head question. Is that... God damn it. Also, is this even... But yeah. Alright, now, I missed something here. Okay, great berating episode. I can't wait. I know it came off as berating, but I wasn't trying to berate you guys, okay? I know it might seem like it, but I'm not. I just wanted to express just my little problems. And I know you guys probably can't help some of these things, And that's perfectly fine. But is this even... Okay, I'll shut now about that. I will specifically shut about that. I'm kind of shit at reading jokes sometimes. I hope you know that. But anyway, moving past that. But... Excuse me. But in conclusion, I know you can't help certain things, and that's perfectly fine. But all I can say is don't, like, interrupt me in the middle of something to do this or do that. Let me get a word in. Don't, like, say shit and expect me to know what you're talking about immediately. I know that I do that a lot on this show, but still, don't. I'm sorry for doing that. I accept the apology on your and their behalf if they ever want to say it. Don't make yourself look like a fucking creep. Like, just don't. And I guess last but not least, I apologize for that, yeah. Okay, what was I saying? In the end, we are a brotherhood, and we will have our ups and we will have our downs. Yeah. You have said that before, but that does apply. This cuts out half of... Sorry. I'm not saying sorry sarcastically, just sorry. It's just... In sickness and in health. Yeah. In sickness and in health. That's a quote that fits. Yeah. I know I can come off a little rude and a little testy, but sometimes what you say goes too far, and I just want you to accept and admit that. This is... Now let's get to my good news. Yeah. In conclusion, we're only human at the end of the day, and while we do make mistakes, it's a spectrum, but I guess that's appropriate. It's a spectrum, but it's our spectrum. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm not expecting you guys to listen to the good news at all. In fact, I'm expecting you bitches to spin it into something else, and I'm not hoping you do, but I'm expecting you to. But now let's end the episode with something a bit more positive. So, Sylv here knows a man, Alan. They've been lovers for quite a few years, and although I could lose my virginity. Yep, that's the short version. Hang on, so where's the line, Wonder After Dark? So far, all I know is somewhere between... Okay. Dick jokes are fine in moderation, but when you're just non-stop, constant dick, bear, etc. jokes, like constant, non-stop, that's when it goes too far. And if you're telling me to do anything uncomfortable, that's when it goes too far. But in moderation, it's fine. Now over here, here's the line. If you're saying anything creepy, potentially pedophilic, or even just illegal, that's when it crosses the line. That's when it goes too far. Just saying. The line is right here, okay? We'll go back to colorblind joke. Okay. Oh yeah, I should also say, colorblind jokes are also fine in moderation. In moderation. But don't spam it nonstop. All right, now, anyway. But there's the answer to your question. Now, your news, without further delay, especially because this episode just ran overtime. Anyway, Sylv here knows a man, Alan. They've been lovers for... Okay, anyway, I'm not acknowledging that. Anyway. All right. He knows a man, Alan. They've been lovers for many years, and although they've had their ups and downs, they're still a happy... Since August 3rd, 2020. Yep, that's correct. Anyway, I was sent this conversation today between the two of them. Exciting news. Okay. Basically, all right. I don't know what this top part is about, but I'm just reading from here. Okay. Oh, also, and Sylv says, basically, he lip syncs Chill's most shocking phrases, LMAO. I don't know what started that, but that's not what we're here to read. Alan says, My cousin says there might be a way I can go and visit you since her sister lives in Seattle. My heart just skipped a beat, for real. Yeah. Seattle is west of where I live, but I'm interested. I know, LOL, same. Oh man. I mean, it's better than you coming here and getting decapitated and thrown into a canal. True. The fact I don't even need to look that up about Mexico, but yeah. But yeah, the good news is that there's a chance these lovebirds could meet up. And it's looking like the chance is pretty high. So yeah. Alright. I was talking about Mr. Glizzes on TikTok. Oh wait, what's it say? Read Wheels, it's important. Okay. I would have had to have prior knowledge of you having a younger sister on purpose to make it creepy. Okay, thank you. I guess I probably should have said that sooner, admittedly. Yeah, my sister's, like, young, so while you didn't have any bad intentions, it was accidentally creepy. But accidental. I'm not accusing you of anything, now that that's clarified. And she's blind as a bat. Not just color, just blind. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, younger sister, so you didn't know, that's okay, but yeah, you kind of accidentally, not on purpose, but accidentally. Consider I know nothing about you, and asking questions at this stage is just yeah, okay, I guess I'll just say, I'm sorry if I come off a little, honestly, antagonistic. I'm sorry, truthfully. Yay, we're learning. Yeah. I do apologize in advance. Yeah. Yeah. All blind jokes are off the table. Okay, but this episode's run a little overtime, you know. We're at 103 minutes, almost 104. Not color. Okay, yeah. But yeah, we're running overtime. We're running a little late. We gotta finish this episode. We've gone on long enough tonight. We gotta save our energy for tomorrow night. Okay? We gotta save our energy. Your sister walked into traffic, yeah. But we gotta save our energy for tomorrow night. So we've gone on long enough. But yeah. I consider tonight's episode to be... I mean, every episode we learn something. But tonight I consider to be not one. Oh. And here I thought what this was going to be you reading. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But I consider tonight to be not one, but two valuable teaching moments, valuable learning moments. Which I guess segues us into the Oh. Also, I told you to remind me about the gifts I had. Yeah, what gifts? What gifts? What gifts where? No, I'm serious. What gifts where? If you're mailing me anything, no, shut up. Lil Bill's official, yeah. If you're mailing me something, I'm gonna have to veto that, because that's kind of a risk, but, yeah. Also, if it's nudes. If it's nudes, I'm vetoing. But, yeah, what are your gifts? Hurry it up, just don't make it too long, we gotta finish the show. Okay, good with maps and what, okay, but I still don't want anything through the mail, okay? I'm dead serious. I am dead serious, I do not. Oh, before I mention that, you should add to your collection. Okay, yeah, what if it's Epic Game Store, am I allowed to mail? Depends on what it is. And you're a close friend. So, Sylv, I trust you at least with the mail. Alright, but you will. If it's Epic Game Store, I don't use that. If it's Steam, depends on what games. Depends on what they are. If it's anything like super suggestive, but, oh. I wanted to let you know that Epic Games are giving away free games you can have now, and Prime. Okay. I don't use Epic Games. I can mail you an envelope full of glitter. Yep. What's wrong with suggest? Oh, God. I'm not answering that. In fact, I don't even know who you are. In fact, I don't know how long you've been here, but either way, this is the end of the episode. And why the fuck did YouTube recommend it? Okay, so that means you haven't been here the entire time, and that you just showed up. YouTube recommended works in some really strange ways. I would say welcome, but unfortunately, we're out of time. This is the end of the episode. I'm sorry to disappoint. Better luck next time. You actually literally joined right at the outro. But yeah, I guess I'll... Okay, Dean Ford. This is a dark comedy drama variety review show called Wonder After Dark. But we're not here to review. I'm here to end the show because it's almost 1 a.m. in my area. I wasn't being mean to them. Anyway, alright, it's time to finish for tonight. So what did we learn? Wow, EST, yeah. What did we learn? Later for me, yeah. But what did we learn? Yeah, what did we learn? Hardly after dark, if it's still dark. Well, you're not wrong, but... Milk? No, but I'm asking, Lil Bill's a sicko. Okay, yeah. As a joke. Well, I didn't learn anything, I just arrived. Well, there's always a chance you could learn something next time. Sorry you showed up so late. Again, maybe next time. Maybe. Oh, I learned nothing You're not wrong. I learned that dreams do come true potentially. Yes, you did, and that's a really sweet way to look at it. Also, milk and cereal, come and milk. But will I elaborate further? Nope. Because I've said enough. And I'm tired as shit. But for now, that's all the time we have for tonight. But always remember, eat your cereal, go to bed, to be continued. God made you special and he loves you very much. If you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Don't ever cry over spilled milk, yeah. If you do drugs, you go to hell. Wait, so come in milk is a... Well, I mean goofy, silly. Anyway, if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Good night, and... I am Steve. Have a day.